Test. There we go. Everyone can hear me? Yes. Alrighty. Hello everyone, and welcome to Nebraskon's second Gunpla Awards. Give a round of applause for all those who attended. This has been a passion project of mine for the past 8 years, trying to get this off the ground. That is a lot of time hearing, no, maybe, we'll think about it. Did you think this through? And I went through all of those loops to finally being able to basically host the model competition here at Nebraskon. First year, I was almost ready to make it in an exhibit. Barely anyone had signed up at all. Until September. Remember, we had this convention in October. That's a month. And in that time, I had at least 8 entries. Barely enough to actually hold the competition. So our first year, we had a plethora of really good models. And I'm really happy that we are actually Alright. So, with this year, as of when I checked the list on Saturday, we had a grand total of 20 entries, which is pretty damn good, all considering, for pre-entries. Out of those 20, only about 14 were able to make it and enter a model. So there were several that had to either drop out or weren't able to make the deadlines for the model competition because many people only come on Sunday or we're only doing one day. And unfortunately, our cutoff was on Saturday evening at 8. So unfortunately, anyone that was wanting to enter their model on a Sunday, unfortunately, we could not accommodate that. We just did not have enough staff at the time. And yeah, so we had to manage time. But before anything, I do want to say welcome and to the Gunpla Award ceremony. What I want to do is do a quick shout out to our sponsors for this wonderful competition and helping us out. One is Nebraskon for hosting our my model competition here at Nebraskon. Next is Hobbytown USA. They have provided us $5 gift cards for cash prizes. So this is the first time we actually had a fairly good sponsor giving us a cash prize. Ground Zero Comics, unfortunately they were unable to provide us anything, but they have provided other events within the con, and they did help us out last year. So some of these are going to be honorable mentions for their help and contributions for our pilot, no pun intended. Krypton Comics also helped us out with prize support and for our raffle that we had the very first year. And this is the biggest one because this is a new, a recurring one that has actually given us a really nice donation of 3 $25 gift vouchers at Ben's Game Zone. So give a round of applause to all our sponsors and their help in the past and now. Now, we are getting into the actual award portion of this. So as I am announcing the awards, I would like the individual to come up, claim their prize, and get a picture, preferably in front of the screen, so we know which Gundam was yours. So starting with straight builds. Second place goes to, and I apologize if I say some of these names wrong, some of these were actually last-minute entries. We had 4 that were not pre-registered on our list. So that means our total count probably was even more. And that lovely prize for second place for our straight build category. But let me explain the straight build category. Our straight build category is how well you can actually build a model outside of the box. This did include minor detailing that you can do, not just completely straight out of the box. You are still allowed to panelize, but you are not allowed to paint major pieces. This primarily means armor. There were a few models, unfortunately, that we had to bump to a different category or they would have been completely disqualified. And I just felt that was unfair. So I bumped them up to a higher category and graded them. And some of them actually did fairly well. Others, on the other hand, followed the rules to almost a T and did a fabulous job with the concept of straight building. And with that explanation, the second place goes to Jackson Parr, the MG Barbatos. As we were looking at this model kit, we were first wondering if he actually painted this thing, because the weathering on this is phenomenal. It is really good. But upon further inspection, this was on bare plastic, which technically, this is minor detail added to the existing plastic. So that still falls within the rules of this straight build. You also used several of these stickers and weathered them pretty good. I still saw a little bit of silvering, but that's what I was expecting because you're putting it on bare plastic. So it comes down to how well were the stickers placed in this corresponding spots based off of what the instruction manual was saying. So let's have him come up and claim his prize. I need my other guys to help me out with the photos. Hold your prizes and we'll get a photo. Stand right in front of your picture. Preferably not blinding yourself. Yeah. Outside. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, give a round of applause for our second place for straight build. All righty, moving on to who got first place in the straight build category. So like I was explaining, there are a lot of restrictions when it came to the straight build category. So a lot of it came down to how well did you take care of your sprue marks? How well did you sand them, polish, to hide a lot of those imperfections that you usually face with just straight building your model? How well were some of the stickers or decals that were put on your model? So all of these factors we had to consider when we were looking at our entries. And so, the person that did the closest and best job to our ability for judges will go to Matt Min. Again, this one was handwritten, so apologies if I got some of that wrong. All right, come claim your prize. All right, give them a round of applause, everyone. And as you can see in the photo, a lot of this is more polished. So it's really shiny, and it does still can show where a lot of those sprue marks are. There were still a few, but they were very, very difficult. We really did have to actually break out the little flashlights and, do the little angle things like, oh, there it is, to find them. So we actually had to work really hard. So we didn't dock them too much for many points for that because they were really hard to find. So they were really good for the majority of the model. So now we are getting into the general category. I'm going to possibly come up with a different name for this. But in the general category, this is really where we get to a normal standards for a plastic model. Painting, seams, sprue marks, getting all of those things taken care of, making it as clean as possible, applying paint, applying weathering if possible, detailing, decals, stickers, the whole 9 yards. This is what we all look for in this category. So with that, second place goes to Kenji with his big ocean. Give him a round of applause, everyone. All right, let's get a picture of him. This was a very, very fun model to review. And this was a model that was a kit bash. So this still falls within the general category. He just went the extra 9 yards and wanted to make a Frankenstein mech, which makes it even harder to hide seams and blend because you are mix and matching different mechs from different series and scales. So it takes a higher level to find a way of Frankensteining all these pieces together and making it into a functional, coherent model. So that's why he was able to get second place, because he did a phenomenal job with that. He did a very good job when it came to his painting. This is fully painted. I don't know if it was hand painted or rattle can. Hand painted. Oh, if I would have known that, I would have had you a little bit more points, because I didn't see a single brush stroke in this thing. I thought this had to be an airbrush or rattle can.
I thought, personally, it looks like it was spray painted, personally.
I thought so too, but it makes more sense now because we did see some little spots on some corners that missed some paint. And when you're hand painting, that can be a very big thing, is missing those general spots. So, Give another round of applause for Kenji and his big ocean. Now we're moving on to our first place. So, like I was saying, you have to make a lot of right decisions and right choices when making your model. And it was one of the more challenging ones, but it was actually a really good model. And that honor goes for first place for the general category goes to
Michelle.
Michelle, my apologies.
Handwriting's terrible.
Mine is just as bad. But her RX-78 with those wonderful feathered wings. Come on up and claim your prize! As she's coming up, she did a phenomenal job. Looked like it was well painted. The amount of detail she did was phenomenal, and it looked gorgeous. I did not see many screw marks, if added any, on here. So she gets the grand prize for our main category. So let's get a picture and give her a round of applause. Right there. Just kind of show us your prize.
No, sorry. Lost. Is this?
Oh yeah, that works.
Okay.
Since you are our grand prize winner, give us talk about a little bit about your model and inspiration behind it.
You'll go more specific. I'm not sure what to say.
Tell us about how you built your model.
Oh, okay. So it's all painted. Base layer of gray is done with airbrush, and then the blue parts that were on there I hand painted in. The wings were probably the most difficult part to do. The hexagons and shapes inside of it. That's all kind of a weird lattice work that the stickers were supposed to sit on, so I had to put the plastic plate over it and slowly shape that down to size and cut it. And then it was the most annoying chrome paint I've ever used in my life over that. And decals were the Delphi decals for the RX 78 hollow version, because I figured they go well with the wings. Yeah.
All right, give her a round of applause. As you can see, there are still prizes on this table, which means we are not done yet. There were more prizes to win, and these come down to our last 4 categories, which is Best Paint Job, Best Diorama, and Best Theme. Though, based off of what I might be hearing, I might almost want to change one of the suggestions on this one, because there was some information that little piece of paper didn't actually give. But let's go with what we decided. For Best Paint Job goes to Jackson with his MG. The amount of lighting he actually did on this was really good, especially with the mobile tank.
I would also like to point out the fact that even the 2 pilots there, that hand paint job is phenomenal. You probably have to have severe eye trouble everything to get everything perfect.
I have actually made this model kit and have painted Mikazuki. It took me a magnifying glass that's almost bigger than my head to see all the parts. So yes, they are a bit of a challenge. So you get our best paint job, which is a airbrush from Hobby Lobby. Yep, get a picture. Alrighty, another round of applause.
He looks so enthusiastic about doing this.
Next is dioramas. So unfortunately, not a lot of these models have a textbook definition of a diorama. So we had to come up with what was the closest model on display that would classify itself as a diorama. Which begs the question, what is a diorama? So a diorama is depicting a scene from some way or something that tells a story in some capacity. So, just having a really cool pose on a stand, unfortunately does not necessarily classify it as a diorama. But there weren't many actual dioramas like how last year was, where we actually had full-on displays and actual train features and stuff. Unfortunately, we did not see that this year. We're hoping for next year. So if anyone has any ideas, start getting them in. So, the one that came the closest is none other than, again, Jackson with his MG Barbatos. The reason why, this is telling a very unique story because we both have Mikazuki and I keep getting Orga standing side by side doing a cool little fist pump thing next to a mobile worker and the unit. So this tells a very good story which meets the criteria for a diorama. So you get another prize. And guess what? It is the diorama itself, along with your placard. So let's get a picture again. It's like I foresaw this, that I knew no one was going to have a diorama. It's like, here, make something. Go, build something. Yippee! All right, we have 2 prizes left. And we are going to go with best theme. And so, if it wasn't plainly obvious of what theme we used, because how many of you came to our Gundam table? Well, so all of you should have raised your hand to some capacity. It is the Gundam Wing that is our theme for this year to celebrate its 30th anniversary. So everything, especially the models, were all Gundam Wing themed. So, surprisingly enough, we had one sole person who actually had entered a Gundam Wing model kit, making it win by a landslide because he's the only one causing the landslide. And that is the Matt with his togies. So come and claim your prize for best theme. That's exactly why.
While he's getting his photo taken, does anyone happen to know who's the pilot of the tall geese? I heard Peacecraft, and that is correct.
Now, moving on to popularity. Since this was a really fun one, because we didn't have to do Jack Dilly Squad. It was everyone here at Anime Nebraskon that decided what was the best model that this model competition had. Out of the 404 votes, that is how many we had. And out of those 404 votes, this thing won!
There's something so cute about it.
Very cute. I'm sorry, but you actually have to sit down. You did not win. This thing actually only got 6 votes. The real one with 111 votes is claim your prize.
People seem to really love the Barbatos.
Well, what would you expect? It's the only one that got action in more than one way. We all know what happened right before that final battle.
Yes. I totally forgot about that. Now my brain is scarred.
Alrighty. Oh, right there. Remember, we have a nice table to place all of our stuff. Which his prize is a placard, a SD Gundam or GB Gundam, as well as a $25 gift voucher from Ben's Game Zone. So I hope everyone that won is a local.
Yeah.
Okay, good, that's happy. I would feel really bad if you lived in like Tucson, Arizona and you can't redeem your thing.
We're good.
We're good.
Thank you.
Alrighty, everyone. That actually concludes the award ceremony. Have another round of applause for our lovely sponsors. And if we can have our lovely winners come back up all together to get a photo taken with everyone in their prizes. Please make your way up to, I would assume this is a poor excuse of the stage. I'll try to get an upgrade. Hey, if I get 50, I can probably get us in the main stage.
Hey, maybe we can get a Grandpa Gundam hand to stand on.
That would be awesome. All right, everyone, come on up and let's get a final picture.
I would say use the one that from the in Japan where they had the actual moving Gundam, but I doubt they would be able to ship it to us.
Yes, they did. Corrosion, like anything mechanical.
Oh, it's in Osaka as part of the RX-6 and they don't.
True, but they had to take it away because of the drug before he got too good. All right, give him another round of applause for our wonderful winners. I just want to thank everyone again for your efforts in making this possible. It's you guys that enter these competitions that fills me with joy. I've been building since I was an ankle biter and got into Gundams because, again, mechs, anime, find out they're models. So I had a blast starting out and eventually getting into competition and to the point where I actually now judging models. And I also have my own YouTube channel too. So please subscribe to Bandai Partington Figure Review. This also was live streamed, so you can watch this all over again on my YouTube channel. I hope to see you guys next year, and if you guys know, hey, there's going to be fabulous prizes, so definitely enter for next year at 2026 for our third iteration of the Gundam Model Competition. And just remember, if it's Bandai, enter. With that, thank you everyone, and I will see you next year. You are free to go and retrieve your models if you have